You look miserable.
I am. My son is in the hospital again.
I thought you liked working with computers?
I do. Kind of. I just wish I could be at the hospital with my son today.
You know, there are people who would love to have your job right now. Your son is in the hospital a lot. If you can't start slapping a smile on and being happy to be here even when he's in the hospital, maybe we should find someone else to work here.
I'm one of your best agents. I'm coming, and I'm getting the job done. I do enjoy my work sometimes, but life is really difficult right now, and there's a reason y'all give me a paycheck on the way out the door instead of charging admission on the way in. You get to ask a lot, but if you're going to ask me to pretend to be happy even when my son is in the hospital, then we need to renegotiate my pay rate and time off. That wasn't part of my initial employment agreement. Artificial intelligence really hit a new stride last year. ChatGTP and Stable Diffusion are new technologies that create text and images for people based on input from a user. This has led to strikes among writers, lawsuits from artists, and general confusion among the population. I heard a story about a lawyer that started taking advice from an AI and ended up in contempt of court for lies and bad behavior. I've used a chatbot a few times to help me research things, but I don't trust it. The chatbot I've used is based on ChatGTP. The thing that I dislike most about it is that it will lie to me. The professionals like to say that it's hallucinating, but it will backtrack and try to justify itself. If it doesn't know, it makes up an answer and keeps doubling down and pushing that answer until it can't any longer. This isn't much of a surprise. ChatGTP and the technologies related to it are basically the most advanced autocomplete on the planet, trained to complete the conversation by the internet. I don't know if you've been on the internet, but it's not full of people who admit it when they don't know what they're talking about. The power of the words, "I don't know," has not reached most of them. There are times that I've asked a chatbot about something I'm trying to research, and it will send me down a rabbit hole that leads to a wild goose chase and dead ends in a verification that nothing it said was true. Other times, it gives me just the hint I was looking for to find the source I was looking for. On the creative side, I don't use AI to write my blog or to check my blog or participate in any of the writing, though. I just have too many experiences with AI, hallucinating, in a way that's unhelpful. If I'm ever going to write a blog post based on hallucinations, I want it to be my hallucinations. However, about a year ago, I answered a questionnaire by Braxton Hunter about why YouTubers do what they do. I'm not primarily a YouTuber, but I like the culture of religious discussion on some corners of YouTube. I'm not very good at reading text aloud, so I got some text-to-speech software to do that. After trying a few different things, I primarily use the voice Roger on MicMonster. I use other voices on that service as well. There are people who will hate that I do this. They feel like I'm stealing jobs by not hiring a person to do it. I'm not. The closest I might come to that is if I were to read it myself. If I had the money to pay someone, I would rather a person than an AI to read my blog for my YouTube channel. If using a computer to generate voice wasn't an option, I would be forced to record my own voice. The only job I'm stealing is my own, and I don't want it. I'm not very good at reading aloud, and I have hearing damage that makes mixing the audio file later difficult for me. Getting a consistent audio output that's better than I could make on my own is very helpful to me. There has been a lot of talk about how AI tools of this sort are changing things. They are, that's for sure. There is a rush by some to protect their jobs that they now see as endangered. That's only natural. But there's a lot of speaking out of both sides of the mouth as well. It's long been said that art shouldn't be done for the money, but now that this source of income is such that they will have to compete on a different footing, they're scared. These tools are coming, and the sooner we start to integrate them into our society, the better. There are a bunch of us that can do more now than we could have 5 years ago with these new tools. Putting those skills behind a paywall made it so that they were only accessible to those with that disposable income regularly available. Now they're available even without the disposable income. As human beings, there's a reality to the fact that we like to see what other human beings are capable of. I don't think that the market for voice actors will ever disappear. Even if Roger got to a place where it was better than any voice actor, I would still want to hear the skill of a voice actor playing a part. There's definitely a reason that voice actors would charge more to read my blog posts than a play or a novel, though. In the same way that power saws have reduced the number of carpenter hours it takes to build a house, or the printing press reduced the need for scribes, things are changing. There are questions of rights and ownership that need to be resolved, and those are way beyond the scope of this blog. Those questions will be resolved, though. A version of Stable Diffusion trained on art that a company owns rights to is coming. A version of ChatGTP that can write custom novels based on text the company has rights to is coming. We aren't ready, but we've never been ready for technology when it arrived before. I think the best thing to do is to start figuring out how we are going to work with it now, while it's still kinda clunky, rather than wait for it to be fully operational and lose out completely. Thank you for watching my video. If you like theological and philosophical insights and deep dives into tough theological questions, rather than just the normal fluff that you will get from an apologetic channel or a normal Sunday sermon, then consider subscribing and hitting the bell. Also, if you like what you've heard here and want more, links to my blog, Amazon author page, and Zazzle products page are in the description.